Flight 417 from Singapore to Australia was supposed to be a completely ordinary journey. But then, the unexpected happened. The plane shook violently, an engine exploded, alarms blared incessantly. And just a few minutes later, darkness engulfed everything. When I came to, I found myself lying on a deserted beach. All around me were remnants of the plane and human bodies washed ashore. I was one of the few survivors. But that didn't mean I was safe. Day 1, facing reality. The pain from the wound on my forehead left me dazed. I looked around, no one else was alive. The vast sea stretched out before me, a dense forest loomed behind, and one undeniable truth emerged: I was stranded on a deserted island. Survival instinct kicked in. I rummaged through the wreckage in search of anything useful: a little canned food, a bottle of water, a lucky lighter that still worked. At least, I wouldn't die today. I needed to find shelter before nightfall. Using a few large branches and scraps from the plane, I hastily erected a makeshift refuge. That night, the sound of crashing waves combined with the eerie calls of strange creatures in the forest kept me wide awake. Day 2, thirst. Without clean water, I knew I wouldn't last long. I ventured deep into the forest in search of a water source. After several hours, I was fortunate to discover a small stream. But was the water safe to drink? I recalled what I'd learned: if water flows freely and has no odd odor, it's most likely safe. I took slow, cautious sips, the cool taste quenching my burning thirst. Food was the next concern. With hardly any available, I began searching for fruit, though I wasn't sure which ones were safe. With no other option, I tried a little and waited for any reaction. Luckily, I wasn't poisoned. That night, I felt my body gradually weaken, but at least I was still alive. Day 3, the first hunt. I needed protein. A few seabirds were perched on the rocky cliffs, but I had no weapon. So, I decided to craft a crude trap using some wire salvaged from the wreckage. The result? A small crab. It wasn't much, but it was something to eat. I built a fire and grilled it, the worst meal I'd ever had, yet somehow the most satisfying. Day 4, the approaching storm. The sky darkened and the wind gradually intensified. A storm was coming. I fortified my shelter with coconut leaves and tree trunks, but it did little to protect me. When the storm hit, rain lashed my face and the wind threatened to knock everything over. I could only cling tightly to a tree trunk, praying that the worst wouldn't happen. The next morning, after the storm passed, I found everything around me severely damaged. I had lost all my food, but then discovered a bounty of fish washed ashore by the rough seas. An opportunity one couldn't pass up. I gathered the fresh fish and grilled them over a fire. For the first time in many days, I enjoyed a proper meal. Day 5, imminent danger. I wasn't alone. Venturing deeper into the forest, I discovered footprints, not human ones, but those of a large animal. It could have been a leopard or a wolf. If I wasn't careful, I would soon become its prey. I decided to fashion a spear from a sturdy branch and some metal scraps from the plane to defend myself. That night, I heard low growls near my shelter. My heart pounded as I gripped the spear tightly. Fortunately, the creature didn't attack. At least, not that night. Day 6, hope. I knew I had to leave the island. I gathered large pieces of wood and vines to start constructing a raft. While I was busy building, I heard the sound of an engine in the distance. An airplane. I quickly built a large fire and used a sheet of metal to reflect the sunlight as a signal. But the airplane didn't see me. It flew right past, leaving me in utter disappointment. Yet I didn't give up. I continued working on the raft, knowing that if no one came, I would have to save myself. Day 7, rescue. At dawn, I was just about to launch my raft. But before I could set off, I heard the sound of an engine once more. A helicopter. I ran to the beach, waving my arms frantically. This time, they saw me. Rescue teams landed and lifted me aboard. As I left the island behind, I looked back. This place had pushed me to my limits but also taught me the true art of survival. I had made it. Sometimes, we don't realize our true strength until we're pushed to the limit. If you ever find yourself in a survival situation, never give up. Remember, nature can be ruthless, but humans can be even more resilient.